Mr. McClure has time to review. So we'd like to just put that out there that we'll go ahead and continue these. If you're ready to walk through.
Oh, my name's Clayton Pearson. I'm an affected party. I didn't know if I could make a quick statement or if I should wait for a better time.
Sorry, what did you say your name was?
Clayton Pearson, Pearson.
Sure, Mr. Pearson, I'll give you an opportunity. Let's first get through what Ms. Vance is trying to understand with Mr. McClure while it's fresh in everyone's mind.
Yes, sir. Pardon my interruption.
Okay, thank you. So we've already discussed going through updating on the land side. Mr. Johns's paragraph 4 statement, correct, Mr. McClure?
Yes, Ms. Vance, and that would be across case 295 and 297 is what your notes has. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, actually, Ms. Vance, sorry to do it up mid-flow, but it should actually is relevant for pretty much all the cases because it actually should be included in your case 26296 because that's across your wolf camp as well. Do you agree, Ms. Vance?
Well, there's no. So you want a statement?
Ms. Vance, hold on a second, I guess. Let me back up.
The
not to bring Mr. John, not to bring Mr. John's back, but maybe we should real fast just to clarify because your case 26296 is in the west half rather than the east half.
It's in the west half and it's in the wolf camp, and there, to my knowledge, in the application, we didn't include a depth severance, and I don't believe that there's any issue regarding a pew clause with that. So I don't think we need to disturb his land statement in that case. It's just the two cases where there are the depth severances and the application of the pew clauses in those cases.
Okay, so when that was reviewed, or when that application was submitted, it's submitted as an entire wolf camp being requested. Therefore, that would have been reviewed across the entire wolf camp. Is that correct?
That is correct. It should just be pulling the wolf camp in that case.
Okay, and that does seem to. Yes. As I'm sitting here thinking it out, I guess I am in agreement with that thought process. And okay, so I'll take back what I was saying before. I think it is only in the 295 and 297, and that's what you have, Ms. Vance?
That's correct.
Okay. 295, 297. Did you want me to go on with changes, Ms. Vance, or do you have a list you're working off of?
I've got a little list, so if I can go through that with you. Sure. And then we will update our Exhibit C3 and Exhibit C5 and Exhibit C6. And what we will do is we will note any parties that owned the interest. Well, we will note any of the parties that acquired the interest subsequent to the application being filed.
Yeah, I got that added, Ms. Vance. I'm in agreement.
And we'll make sure that we include the party that owned the interest at the time the application was filed, so you can confirm that that party received notice.
But you would also include some sort of note there that now it's owned by such. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Matador's been in contact with those parties who have acquired subsequent to the filing of the application. So that would be Exhibit C3, C5, and C6, and that is for all of the cases. And then for case number 95, and 9.7, again, the cases with the depth severance. For D3, we'll remove on the cross section here, we'll move the reference to the type law or the depth severance. So we'll remove that from D3 for both of those. And then Ms. Olson either Ms. Olson or Mr. Herber will prepare a gum barrel diagram that shows the depth severance in relation to those, I forget the name of the wells.
Sebastian, I believe.
Sebastian, yeah. We'll depict the gum barrel for the Sebastian and then the depth severance in relation to those Sebastian wells.
And then there was no change to your notice, that's correct, Ms. Vance?
No, there's no change to our notice.
Okay, now on the compulsory pooling administrative checklist, this is an area in which the wolf camp is subdivided between the upper and lower wolf camp. And that subdivision is located at the base of the wolf camp A.
Okay.
So essentially that means that your case 26296.
Hold on, let me just get there and to the CPAC. Okay, so this one is Wolf Camp. So, okay, so because this one has a specific upper and lower, and we're not pooling a vertical extent, we need to include the description of the specific pool that is encompassed here.
Yes, and in this instance, it would be the upper wolf camp pool that
Okay.
that would be included, and that would be from the top of the wolf camp to the base of the wolf camp A. And I can give you that pool code, and I can email it to you as well.
That would be
Just to
great.
put it on the record, though, it would be pool code 98135.
Okay, so it is listed here on D2, so,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it's what you have on D2.
okay.
Now the only issue is I think your other case has that same pool listed too, I believe there, which is incorrect.
And this is going to be a lower.
That's going to be a wildcat. Well, I mean, I guess all these are wildcats, but this one is a wildcat in as it's not been created yet. So we can just put on there, if you want to include the pool, just put on there just simply wildcat lower wolf camp and not include a pool code. One will be assigned once the APDs are approved.
Okay, and that is just for case 29297. So we can remove the pool here and just do the wildcat lower wolf camp with no
That's correct.
pool code. Got it.
That's correct, Ms. Vance. But we will also need to, yeah, because I'm just looking at your CPAC here. You already have it for the depth severance, so you may be fine here, provided that, provided that we don't have a discrepancy there where the wolf camp, base of the wolf camp A would be below this at any point, I guess. I'm just thinking about what our best way to go about this might be. Maybe it would be to add, in addition to your depth severance listing you have here, maybe like start it out as like lower wolf camp and then limit it to. What is your thoughts there, Ms. Vance?
I mean, that's fine with me if it satisfies the division. Just putting there that this is the lower Wolf Camp limited to the depth that we've described here.
I'm thinking that might be I'm thinking from the division standpoint, that might be the ideal route. And then you recall, or how within the landman statement, we're now tying this depth severance to a well. Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now because it's.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, that vertical depth is going to have to be tied to something, I guess, and there should be some sort of descriptive there. And I believe in the landman statement, Mr. Johns was going to bring in the Sebastian well, however he plans on wording it. So whatever's most appropriate to translate that into this is what I'd be looking for.
Well, okay, so let me just step back. So my understanding, and based off of the questioning and discussion with the landman, that he's going to address the description of the depth severance in his statement, but do we necessarily need to change that in this pulling the vertical extent? Because it seems to me that we are, this description right here limits, it demonstrates the vertical extent or describes it, what Matador is pooling. So I don't.
Yeah. But like how it's currently listed, that would be, I would interpret that as if there's a mountain there, you're following 12,242, wherever that mountaintop is, deeper than that, which I don't think was the intent of Matador's depth severance. So what I'm saying is you're basing this off the surface of the ground, but that 12,242 was the deepest point, 100 foot more than the deepest point of a specific well, which has an origin that originates at the surface of the surface location of that well. I don't know what the best way to go about wording that would be, though.
Would it be, since we're going to continue the case and we're going to be making some changes, I'd prefer to discuss with Matador to see what they would like to propose, if that's okay. And I know that there's some other parties here, but I can certainly have a discussion with Matador and then follow up via email with a proposal of how we'd like to describe it, include the other parties so that they, are part of the communications with the technical examiner. But I would prefer to talk with Matador before making a suggestion on the fly at hearing right now, if that's okay.
I mean, I'm in agreement with you.
So, Ms. Vance, at this point, you have a list of information that Mr. McClure needs to review. It sounds like you're not sure when you're going to bring these cases back. Is that what you're saying?
Since I've got the last case and there's two cases that still need to go forward, I can just step out and do a quick call. Okay. But my thinking is if we could continue, let me just talk with them, because if there is a special docket and we can get this done sooner, that might be the preference. Are there any special dockets this month rather than going to?
This sounds like a lot of information for Mr. McClure to deal with, so I'm not going to try to rush this case to a special docket. If Mr. McClure gets the information and tells me, we can hear this on a particular docket, I'll communicate with you. But let's say September 3rd right now would be the earliest we could hear these cases. I would like to give this gentleman a chance to speak before you leave the room. You may want to hear what he has to say.
Absolutely, and just to say that works for us.
Okay, sounds good.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, if I may add one extra point to Ms. Vance before we change topics.
I wasn't going to change the topic, but go right ahead, Mr. McClure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to. Okay. Ms. Vance, however we decide to deal with the description of the depth severance for these vertical extents, if we could also include that within the, like you notice down lower on that CPAC where it has like depth severance, And then you say see exhibit, or you just had it. And can you scroll up a little bit? Scroll up a little bit more. A little more. Ms. Vance, isn't it right? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
If we could, in that box there, instead of saying see exhibit C at 4, if we could include similar language to how we're describing the vertical limit.
Absolutely, and I already heard from Matador that they're good with 9.3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Does that work for you, Mr. McClure? September 3rd?
Yeah, that's fine with me, Mr. Hearing Examiner.
Okay.
And
Ms. Vance, do you have an idea of when you'll be submitting all this information?
I do not at
Okay,
this moment.
that's fine. You know, as long as it's at least 4 working days before the September 3rd docket, we'll be okay.
Perfect. That works for us.
All right. Was there anything else, Mr. McClure, or can I ask this gentleman to speak his piece?
one last thing, Mr. Hearing Examiner. The discussion that Ms. Vance had about the conceivably back and forth communications with the division between this hearing and the next by an email with all the parties CC'd. Does that give you any heartburn, or are we fine to allow her to provide a example language for the vertical extent by an email in the meantime?
Ms. Vance?
I would like to do that, and as long as that is okay with the hearing examiner and the other parties. I don't know where the, okay, I don't know.
They
Oh,
ran for the
I think
hills
Mr.
a
Holliday
long
might
time
have,
ago, Ms.
yeah,
Vance.
they might have left. As long as it's okay with them, then we will do that.
All right, sounds good.
That
Thank
way
you,
we
Mr.
can avoid any further delay,
Right.
so.
Thank you, Mr. McClure, for bringing that
Hey,
up.
guys, no problem from Powderhorn.
Thank you, Mr. Holliday. Well, you're there still. All right. Okay, sir, what is your name?
Are you referencing me, Clayton Pearson?
Yes, I am.
Yes, Clayton Pearson, Clayton, Pearson, Pearson.
Okay, and what is your status in this case?
We are an affected mineral interest party that was notified we were subject to this forced pooling case.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you said we. Who is we?
Myself individually and my wife, Carla Pearson, Carla, same spelling, last name. But actually, I'd like to put a note in on behalf of the Clayton C. and Carla J. Pearson Trust under trust agreement dated December 15th, 2025. That is our trust that we've created that owns the mineral interest. All of the well proposals and communication have been sent to my name individually for these 2 cases. And so we just like to make an appearance and let you know that we don't necessarily contest this case as long as we hear on the record from Matador or MRC Permian Company that our interest is voluntarily committed and is not subject to forced pooling under these cases.
Okay. Ms. Vance?
I will have to defer to the landman. I'm looking at the pooling.
Well, we're going to come back to this case after you speak with your client. Why don't you ask that question to your client, and then we can come back on the record and you can tell Mr. Pearson whatever you want to tell him.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Pearson, we're going to be in recess on this case, but hang tight because we'll come back to it.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, may I ask
Yes,
Mr. Pearson a quick question?
Sure.
Mr. Pearson, what was the case numbers that
Yes.
you're referencing?
The 2 cases are case number 26296 and case number 26297.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pearson. That was the only thing I had, Mr. Hearing Examiner.
All right, thank you, Mr. McClure. All right, we're going to be in recess on these 3 cases for a bit. Let's go on to Devon Energy. This is case 38 on the docket, 26306.
Good morning, Mr. Hearing Examiner and Mr. Technical Examiner. Olivia Atkins with Abity and Schill on behalf of Devon Energy Production Company, and there are no other parties in this case.
Good morning, Ms. Atkins. Go right ahead.
Thank you. In this case, Devon is seeking an order pooling all uncommitted interest in the Bone Spring Formation underlying a 960-acre, more or less, horizontal spacing unit comprised of the east half of sections 23, 26, and 35, Township 23 South, Range 35 East in Lee County. This unit will be dedicated to the Sea Snake 3523 FedCom 26H well. Exhibits were timely filed and include land and geology testimony, as well as corresponding exhibits of Mr. Ryan Clore and Mr. Derek Uhl, both of whom have previously testified before the division, and both of their credentials have been accepted as a matter of record. We also included notice testimony and copies of the notice letter, which were timely sent out on June 22nd, and have the affidavit of production, which was published on June 26th. And with that, I ask that the exhibits be admitted for case number 26306 and that this case be taken under advisement.
The exhibits are admitted without exception. Ms. Atkins, I just wanted to say I appreciate your relevant and concise presentation. You hit all the points that I needed to hear to move this case along. I do believe that Mr. McClure does have questions for your witnesses. Are your witnesses available?
They are.
Okay. Mr. McClure, which witness do you have a question for?
Mr. Examiner, the landman.
Thank you. Ms. Atkins, who is your landman?
Mr. Ryan Clore, are you there?
Okay, there
yes,
we
I
go.
am. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Mr. Clore. Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Spell your name, please.
Ryan, R-Y-A-N, Cloer, C-L-O-E-R.
Okay, and you have previously been admitted as an expert by this division?
Yes, sir.
In what field?
Petroleum land management.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. McClure.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Mr. Cloyer, I'm looking at the form C-102 that's in your Exhibit A1. I'm looking at page 19 of 51 that has the land plat depicted.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I'm looking specifically at your section 35 of that land plat. Do you see where I'm referring to?
I do.
What is the distance between that proposed lateral and that dissecting line that's in the center of the proposed unit? That quarter line is what I'm referring to. Between the east half of the east half and the west half of the east half.
Yeah, so you're asking what is the distance of the lateral from the midpoint of the east half?
That's an accurate way of what I'm looking. That's an accurate way of stating what I'm looking for, Mr. Cloyer.
My understanding of that would be that it is 1,600 feet from the east line, so roughly 13, 20. Hold on, let me do the math for you.
Well, Mr. Cloyer, if I could pause you, I guess, can you say one more time what you believe the distance is from it to the east line?
I believe it is 330 feet.
Okay, so what is the distance from it to the east line? I thought you said 1,600.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you
from
mean
the east line.
1,650?
I believe the lateral is 1,650 feet from the east line of,
Okay, I
and
may have
330
misheard you.
feet from the midpoint.
Okay, Mr. Cloyer, I agree with your math in this instance. With that in mind, do you understand that this is not a standard horizontal spacing unit then?
I do not. My understanding is if it's 330 feet from the midpoint, it classifies as a proximity tract well.
Essentially,
330 feet or less.
it's less than 330 feet. The setback is 330 or greater. So my question to you, do you believe that the applicant would prefer to propose to move this lateral 10 feet to the east? Or do you believe the applicant would prefer to get an NSP?
I believe we can adjust the lateral 10 feet to the east.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to amend this form C-102 to make that adjustment, do you understand what I'm asking for?
I do.
Okay, and then in regards to being able to provide Ms. Atkins a correction to the CPAC for the first take point, you would understand what you would be providing to her?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hearing Examiner, I didn't mention it before, but I do have a very quick question for the geologist for him just to
Okay.
respond on the record for me.
All right. Would you call your geologist, Ms. Atkins?
Yes, Mr. Derek Ohl, are you there?
Yep.
I see him.
Present.
Mr. Old, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Will you spell your name?
Derek, Derek, Ohl, Ohl.
And you've been previously qualified as an expert before this division?
Yes, sir.
In what field?
Petroleum geology.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. McClure?
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Mr. Ohl, looking at your self-affirmed statement, and throughout the entirety of your self-affirmed statement, you're referencing the Wolfcamp Formation. Is it your intent that you meant to say Bone Spring in each and every instance that Wolfcamp is mentioned here? I guess you do have your statement in front of you, Mr. Ohl?
I do. I'm looking at it.
Do you see where I'm referring to, where it references Wolfcamp numerous times throughout?
Yes. Yes, that should say Bone Spring.
Okay, so then in every instance of your self-affirmed statement where it says Wolfcamp, it should say Bone Spring. Is that correct, Mr. Ohl?
Correct.
Okay. And if I were to ask you to amend this, to properly reference the Bone Spring within your statement, you'd understand what I'm asking for, Mr. Ohl?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hearing Examiner, I don't have any further questions, but just a discussion with Ms. Atkins in regards to the CPAC.
Go ahead.
Ms. Atkins, I'm looking at specifically, I guess it's just one well, so I'm looking at the well one is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
And do you see where it says like horizontal well first and last take points, that field, and to the right it has like the sea snake, blah, blah, and have the first and last take point there?
Yes.
Okay, once Mr. Cloyer provides you with that first take point, instead of 1650 from the east line, I believe he plans on changing it to 1640 from the east line. Do you, do you see where I'm referring to and understand what we would be changing there?
I do. Yes.
Okay. And then, yeah, actually everything. And then with that change, it would be standard. So I think, yeah, I think the rest should be fine there. I guess, excuse me, on the CPAC, I do need to bring up that there are in fact two separate pools in this area. So we will need to add an additional pool to the CPAC. Do you
Okay.
have your pen and paper handy for me to give you that other pool code?
I do. I'm ready.
Okay, in addition to the one you already have, there is also pool code 5150. And by O, I mean 0, I guess.
Okay.
And that's going to be the Bell Lake Bone Spring North is what that pool is. We'll need to make that correction. We'll need to add that to your pool name and pool code entry in the CPAC.
Okay.
And then on the form C102s, or that singular form, well, at the moment, singular form C102, we'll need the pool corrected on there as well.
Okay.
The sections 26 and 35 are correct. It's section 23 in which there's a separate pool.
Okay.
And do you understand what we'll be submitting, I guess, as far as on those Form C-102s? Or we could bring back your landman real fast to see if he understands.
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Mr. Hearing Examiner, I have nothing further on this. Originally, I was... I mean, we probably should continue it, Mr. Hearing Examiner, just so I have a chance to see the Form C-102 once they change it, actually.
Okay. So, Ms. Atkins, would you continue this case to September 3rd?
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you. And please, whenever you file additional information with the division, include a cover letter.
Yes, I will do that.
All right, thank you, Ms. Atkins. All right, we're off the record in this case. Let's move on to WPX Energy, number 39 on the docket, 26318.
Yes, Your Honor. William Zimsky with Abity and Schill on behalf of WPX Energy Permian LLC. Good morning.
Good morning.
There are no other parties to this case.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Zimsky.
Okay, WPX is seeking to pull all uncommitted interest in the Bone Spring Formation in the west half of sections 23, 26, and 35, Township 26 South, Range 30 East, in Eddy County, New Mexico, in a standard 769.91 acre, more or less, spacing unit with the Ross Straw 35, 26, 23 FedCom wells. The hearing packet contains the landman statement of Brian Clore with the standard landman exhibits and the statement of Mr. Russell Goodwin for the geology statements with the standard geology exhibits. Both witnesses have testified before the division before and Mr. Clore has been recognized as an expert witness in petroleum land matters, and his credentials have been accepted by the division as a matter of record. Similarly, Mr. Goodwin has also previously testified before the division as an expert petroleum geologist. His credentials have been accepted by the division as a matter of record. Finally, the hearing packet includes my statement of notice with the standard notice exhibits. Timely notice was mailed on July 8th, 2026, and affidavit of publication is attached. Is Exhibit C3 showing a publication date of July 15th, 2026. The notices have been timely provided. I do want to point out a couple errors that we're going to have to do a revised hearing packet. In the landman exhibit, Exhibit A2, the unit capital recapitulation or capitulation, they're expressed in percentages. The decimal points are off, and it's also showing the trainer interest is a 12.98889. 9%. It should be 1.2989. So we're going to resubmit. We're going to submit a revised hearing packet with the correct recapitulation, and also we do show on that same exhibit that we're pulling the BLM and ONRR, which we are not doing so. So we'll take that reference out of that exhibit A2. With those corrections, and we'll be able to file a revised hearing packet by 5 p.m. today with those corrections. With that, I request the admission of all the exhibits and submit the application for consideration.
Thank you. They are admitted without exception. Mr. McClure, do you have any questions for the witnesses?
Mr. Hearing Examiner, I will have questions for the landman in this case.
Okay, Mr. Zimsky, would you call your landman?
Yes, Mr. Ryan Clore.
Mr. Clore,
Ryan,
I remind you that you're still under oath. Go right ahead, Mr. McClure.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Mr. Clore, Maybe the easiest way to look at it would be your Form C-102 again for the 322H well, which I believe is on page 22 of 111. And I'm looking at the land plat again.
322. Okay. I'm there.
Okay, I guess when this HSU was being proposed as a standard HSU, was the concept there that you would be bringing in as a proxy track?
Yes, that's my understanding.
And is it correct that this 322H well is the closest well that there is to that center line?
I believe the closest is the 331. It's 990 from the center, from the west line, which puts it about 330 from the center line.
I guess they're actually equivalent then. It's just the 322H is on the east side and the 331H is on the west side. I guess similar question as to the last case. Do you think that WPX would be more interested in pursuing an NSP, or would they be more interested in offsetting either the 331H 10 feet to the east or the 322H 10 feet to the west? One or the other.
Yes, sir. It was a misinterpretation of the rule. We'll adjust the 331 10 feet to the east to
331.
make it a
Okay.
proximity tract.
Okay, Mr. Cloyer, I'm looking at your summary of communication, or maybe the best way just to confirm, start off, I'm looking at page 29 of 111. This is kind of your unit recapitulation table.
Yes, sir.
And you noticed on there where there is reference to trainer partners and then below that National XP company.
Uh-huh. Yes.
These two persons being requested to be force pulled in this case?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm looking at your summary of communications on page 44 of 111. Is there any reference to the communications between WPX and these two entities, that being Trainer and National?
I do not see Trainer listed on there, nor a National XP, although it is my understanding that National XP, the interest has been conveyed to Titus Oil and Gas, who is listed on there.
Okay, so then, and that was Trainer Partners, is that what you said, Mr. Coyer?
National XP.
Oh, I might have just misheard you. National XP, they now no longer own an interest in the unit, is that correct?
That is correct.
And their interest is now owned by Titus Oil and Gas?
Yes, sir.
Now, with it in mind that I guess, so is WPX still requesting to force pull National XP company then?
No. If they've conveyed their interest, we would need to update the exhibit to reflect that, to be Titus.
Okay, so if I would ask you to include that as a part of the amendment that Mr. Zimsky was already referring to, do you understand what I'm asking for?
I do.
Okay, and then in addition to that, because if I would ask you to add a footnote saying that at the time of when the application gets, okay, let me backtrack. at the time that the application was submitted to the division, would it be accurate to say that National XP Company did own an interest in the unit?
That is my understanding. I want to be clear. I'm filling in for a layman today who was out, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but that is my understanding from his notes to me.
Okay, well, if that is correct, I guess what I would ask for you to include is maybe a footnote just saying that originally owned by National XP Company, but it's since been obtained by Titus Oil and
Titus.
Gas.
Yes, sir. I understand what you're asking.
Okay, now backing up to Trainer Partners Ltd, is the applicant still requesting the division to force pool them?
Yes.
Okay, do you believe that the applicant had entered good faith negotiations with them prior to this case coming before today?
It is my understanding that they had received a well election, and we've not received any communication from them on this proposal.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to add that or add a summary of your contacts with them to your contact table here, do you understand what I'm asking for?
I do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cloyer. Mr. Herringsham, I have no further questions, but for Mr. Zimsky, there is going to be a correction that needs made to the CPAC.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Zimsky, this is the incorrect pool that is listed on your CPAC. I don't know if you have it in front of you, but like where it says pool name and pool code, are you familiar with where I'm referring to?
Let me get there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, the correct pool for that is going to be pool code 98319. And do you know where to get that pool name from?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll need to make a correction there, and then the Form C-102s are going to also need to be corrected to reflect the correct pool. In addition to that, do you see where it has like area for like the proximity defining well under the like other situations?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just need to reference the, I believe Mr. Coy had referenced the 331H that the applicant's going to move 10 feet to the east. So we'll just need to reference it there.
I understand.
And in addition to that, the first and last take, or the first take, both the first and last take points in this instance will need to be corrected under your well number 3, because Mr. Coy will be providing you with a different first and last take points. You see where I'm referring to, Mr. Zimsky?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Mr. Hearing Examiner, I don't believe I have anything further, but I think this is probably another case that we should probably continue to give me a chance to review their submissions.
Of course, thank you. Mr. Zimke, please continue your case to September 3rd for further review.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and thank you very much. Please include a cover letter when you admit additional information.
Will do.
All right, thank you. We're off the record in this case. Let's move on to our last case. This is Oxy USA 26298, excuse me.
Before we get to that, can we revisit the Mark M? I can provide you an answer on Mr. Clayton.
So which case am I recalling, 26297 and 96?
It should be all, the 2 that he's in, yes. Just to confirm for Mr. Pearson, I did speak with Matador, and it's my understanding that the interests he referred to have been leased by Matador, and they are not being pooled.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Vance.
Thank you for the update.
Great.
Now, did you have any other information about those two cases? I thought you were also going to, no, you do not. Okay.
We're good.
We're good, okay.
Yeah.
So probably September 3rd then, Ms. Vance?
That's correct.
Okay, very good. All right, let's call this last case in our docket, Oxy USA 26298.
Good afternoon. Just hit 12 o'clock. Paula Vance with the Santa Fe office of Holland and Hart on behalf of the applicant Oxy USA Inc. And I don't believe there are any other parties.
Very
So
good.
if we're good to start moving forward,
Yes?
I will go ahead and do that. If you give me just 1 second, because I want to I know we're going to be referring to the hearing packet, so I just wanted to get it up there. So I'm going to just open up with a little bit of a background and then go through Oxy's proposed plan. And then we do have our witnesses, and I'll introduce them. So just to give a little bit of background, in this case, Oxy is requesting to reauthorize certain wells that were previously approved under the original order for this project. That order was superseded by the order that you see here, which is order number R TAC 24146. And I'll get to the piece why we're requesting to reauthorize. But the second piece to the requested relief is that Oxy is asking also to extend the pilot project and all deadlines under the order that I just gave for an additional 2 years from the issuance of any order in the case that we're here for today. And then, so to, again, the background piece, so when order R TAC 24146 was issued, part of that order stated that the approval rescinded, well, that the order rescinded approval of the west half of the Avalon wells because the Mule Deer 36 state number 4, which I'll just identify right here in the blue, was P&A'd, so plug and abandoned. And so Oxy has come back today to request 2 of those west half wells referred to in the order for reauthorization for injection in their closed loop gas capture project. And those wells are the Avogadro 3031 Statecom 12H and Avogadro 3031 Statecom 13H. And Oxy's proposed plan in this case is to use the Avogadro 3031 Statecom 11H, which is, and just to back up, the 2 wells that we're asking for reauthorization for are in the green here. And our expert, Mr. Janacek, will go into more detail with this, but just walking through as I am, I wanted to have a visual. But
And Ms. Vance, I just want to mention that we have the room until 1 o'clock.
Okay, I've got I'll be like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And Oxy proposes to use the Avogadro 3031 Statecom 11H, which is this black well right here. I don't know why it's doing that, as a pressure sink between the injection wells and these P&A wells over here that the division has pointed out as substandard P&A and a concern for potential migration of gas injection. So this proposed plan, I just want to walk through a couple of points to emphasize why we believe this proposed plan should be adopted. One, the gas injection into these closed loop gas injection wells is low volume and low pressure. And number 2, the wells that are chosen for these projects are within tight rock formation, meaning you take in consideration the low volume, low pressure, and the tight formations that it's going into, means that it's going to have limited horizontal and vertical migration. The whole point of these temporary storages into these chosen wells with these tight formations is the gas will not travel far because it can't. Number three, the injection shown, the injected gas is shown to not leave the wellbore or the simulated rock volume area, and that was all a part of the original approval process and the exhibits and testimony provided by the reservoir engineer, which again was approved because we have an order. 4 and 5 kind of go together here. Oxy has, per the orders that have been issued in these cases, submitted data to the division for all of its approved closed loop gas capture cases, demonstrating that the volumes are being recovered. The gas being injected is being recovered in its entirety. Also to that point, the data is also showing that that gas injected is not reaching any offsetting vertical wells. So these are two very strong data points to support Oxy's proposed plan in this case. And then lastly, you bear in mind those 2 points I just made. This pressure sink really, and our expert, Mr. Janacek, will talk about this, is really a backup to provide that monitoring and allay any concerns that the division may have about migration of gas injection. So with that said, we would like to set up as a panel. We have our 2 technical experts who have previously testified before, Mr. Stephen Janacek, who is our engineer, and then we have Mr. Jared Roundtree, who is our geologist. And I have the starting PowerPoint up. Mr. Janacek is going to talk about the AOR map that I have up, along with the following gun barrel diagram, and then he will get into the other slides that offer an offsetting observation and discuss in more detail and answer any questions about the proposal. And again, Mr. Roundtree will go over the cross section. But one other thing, last thing here. If we obviously ask that today that what we present will be accepted, that the exhibits will be accepted, and that the case will be taken under advisement and approved. However, if there are any questions or the division would like supplemental exhibits presented, we would ask that we are able to set up a technical meeting offline to discuss with the technical examiner any questions that they may have, so we can address those and then continue the case to then come back. But we would request that we're able to do a technical meeting offline and discuss any specific concerns that the technical examiner may have. So with that, we have Mr. Janacek and we have Mr. Roundtree, and we're ready to move forward with any questions that the technical and examiner have. Thank you.
Do you want me to admit your exhibits?
Yes, please.
Okay. So without exception, your exhibits are admitted into evidence. Now, I have a question. Did your witnesses provide any self-affirmed statements?
No.
Was there a reason why?
We didn't feel it was necessary because and I think in my pre-hearing statement, I actually explained that we would just present our exhibits and offer our technical experts as being available for discussion and explanation. They can walk through their exhibits, so that'll be a part of the record. But we would also rely on their statements that were previously submitted during the initial application process as well.
I see. And when was the initial application process?
I don't have the
You don't know.
I don't have the date.
Okay, not a problem. I just wondered what the rationale was behind that. What I'd like to do is, instead of having the witnesses run the show, I'd rather have Mr. McClure run the show. And so I think since we do have a time constraint here of about 50 more minutes or less, what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn to Mr. McClure and say, Mr. McClure, have you had a chance to review the exhibits in this case?
Yes, I have, Mr. Hearing Examiner.
All right. Now, what is the best way to get the answers you need to move this case forward? Would you like to ask questions to the panel, or do you want them to make presentations to you?
I'm more than happy to ask questions of the panel.
Okay. Ms. Vance, is that okay with you?
That is fine with me.
All right. Okay. So let me start this way. We have two witnesses. Let's get them both sworn in. Would you please both raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
Very good. I don't see your name at the bottom of either of your screens, so I don't know who to start with, but would someone state and spell your name?
Yes, I'll go first. My name is Steven Janacek. That is spelled STEPHENJANACEK.
Okay. And Mr. Janacek, your name is familiar to me, so I know you've been qualified as a expert by this division, but in what field?
Petroleum engineering.
Petroleum engineering. That's what you said, right?
Correct.
All right. Okay. And the other gentleman, would you state and spell your name?
Yes, my name is Jared Roundtree, JARED ROUNTREE.
Okay. And have you previously been qualified as an expert by this division?
Yes, I have.
In what field?
In geology.
Geology. Okay, very good. Let me ask both of you to take 1 minute, just 1 minute each, and tell the technical examiner and myself, what is your expert opinion about this case? I'll start with you, Mr. Janacek.
Sure. If I was to summarize in a minute, maybe a minute and a half, let me start with this. Based on the reservoir evaluation, the geologic evaluation, the 4-year operating record, and the well configuration, Oxy proposes the solution that Ms. Vance had previously mentioned. The Avogadro 11H would remain out of CLG service. It would continue operating as a producing well and would provide an observation and pressure management function. Its producing drawdown would create a pressure sink between the 2 proposed CLGC wells and the 3 plug and abandonment wells of concern. Oxy requests that the OCD reauthorize the Avogadro 12H and 13H. And I would like to add on and talk about the layer of assurances that Ms. Vance alluded to. The 11H pressure sink configuration is just one additional backstop with a layered system of assurances. Oxy's request does not rely on any single assumption or line of evidence. First, prior reservoir engineering testimony showed that CLGC event volumes are only a fraction of the gas volume required to fill the simulated rock volume created during the initial completions. Second, the reservoir simulation indicated that the temporarily stored gas remained within the stimulated fractured system under the modeled conditions. Third, CLGC is a controlled, intermittent, relatively low rate and low pressure operation. It is not intended to create the sustained reservoir pressure or displacement response associated with EOR. Fourth, and Jared will speak to this, we have approximately 370 feet of low porosity limestone and 475 feet of total vertical separation provides a substantial geologic layer. And fifth, the 2-year project summary report shows substantial recovery of stored gas through the same storage wells and no identified storage-related impacts on the evaluated offset well. This was in the Taco Cat and Avogadro project summary report submitted in 2024. And one more point, The CLGC was designed as a low capital waste prevention solution using existing producing wells and existing centralized gas lift infrastructure. The 2024 reports indicate rapid implementation and low capital expenditure as important characteristics of these projects. Re-entering and replugging multiple offset wellbores would fundamentally change the scope and economics of this type of temporary gas capture project and would likely eliminate its economic basis. However, that economic limitation is not the basis for Oxy's technical conclusion. Oxy's technical position is that reentry is not necessary because the layered evidence and proposing operating configuration adequately address the potential for communication. And for those reasons, we respectfully request that the OCD reauthorize CLGC for the Avogadro 12 and 13H.
Okay. Mr. McClure, did you find any of that helpful?
I mean, it was helpful to hear his opening statement, sort of, I guess.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Is it Mr. Roundtree?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Roundtree, in 1 minute, because I'm going to time you. You have
Yes.
1 minute to make
I
your.
can go less than that. I can
Good.
speak just
Go right
to
ahead.
the geology information that that Stephen referenced. On this cross section here, it's showing a cross section from the substandard P&A wells on the left side of the cross section over to the DSU that the Avogadro wells are in, showing where that interval in question, that sand interval where those wells are perforated, shown in the red box, versus where the horizontal injector wells are landed, shown by the red and green arrows below, I'm sorry. And basically just trying to show that between where those wells are injecting in the Avalon and that sand interval above, we have nearly 500 feet of total rock separating those two intervals, with the vast majority of that being tight rock. About 370 feet of it is limestone. The rest of it is low permeability shale. And so we believe that the rock in between these two zones provides adequate barrier to contain the gas within the zone that it's being injected into and not migrating upwards out of zone into that shallower sand.
All right. Thank you. Mr. McClure, do you want to ask your questions to the panel or do you prefer to direct your questions?
I mean, I think my questions would be adequate to direct to individual persons.
Go right
and I
ahead.
guess they could just tell me if they're not the right people.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Mr. Janacek, is it correct that Oxy currently has approval to inject into 12 wells within this project?
That sounds correct, yes.
I guess, why does Oxy feel that it needs 2 additional wells?
These 2 additional wells are the most depleted, and my understanding is that some of the other 12 wells are not yet ready for CLGC service because they're still not depleted enough to get adequate injection rates.
Well, when did Oxy cease injection into these 2 wells?
I believe it was somewhere around late 2025.
Wait, so what has Oxy been doing in the meantime without these 2 wells then?
It's been using the other CLGC wells that are approved in the project.
And has Oxy had any instances in which they were not sufficient to take its injection?
These we are using, to be clear, to answer your question, we are using the previously approved wells, and those are able to take the injection. So wells that we have previously approved and have actively been using for gas storage, those are taking injection. But the other some odd wells, I want to say 6 or so, that we're not using, those 6 wells are not yet ready for gas storage. And based off of our analysis, they're not ready for to be able to take CLGC injection rates.
Now, it would be accurate to say, or Ms. Janchik, it would be accurate to say then that these 2 wells that Oxy is asking to add back into the project are ready to start receiving injection. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Janacek, I'm looking at, I guess it's a part of Exhibit D. I'm looking at page 84 of 95. Yeah, here we go. It looks like Miss Vance has it for us. You with us, Mr. Janacek?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, what is it that, very briefly, what is the big takeaway that Oxy wants the division to get from this table, this exhibit here?
Yeah, so the main takeaway here is that based on this comparison, there is their communication between wells is theoretically impossible. The conclusion is that no consistent CLGC related production response was identified in the available offset well data. So we don't see a correlation between the production of this well, the offset well, and the injection of the CLGC well. It's not shown on this plot, but we've looked back at production data of the offset well back to 2015, which was much higher than this production. And it looks like it's on trend. And so therefore we think this is just native gas production and no impact from CLGC operations.
Is it accurate to say that, oh, go ahead, Mr. Janacek, did you have something else to add?
Yeah, so as to where that this data fits into the larger picture of things, we're showing that if we did not set up this pressure sink well, we don't anticipate and we haven't seen any offset impact between CLGC wells and offset wells. So this is just more data showing that we don't see consistent or we see a lack of communication between CLGC wells and offset producing wells.
And Mr. Janacek, I guess from where was your like your red bars? That's the gas that was allocated to the Mule Deer 36 State 4. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's monthly allocated based off OCD records.
Okay, but from where did Oxy derive the original production? Because it was Oxy that was reporting this production, correct?
So Oxy acquired this well sometime in 2022. So all of this production data is based off of what was reported to the OCD.
Well, is it accurate to say that, I guess the more relevant information here is in 2023 and the start of 2024?
That is relevant, and also the previous production data that's not shown on here going back to 2015. I have that pulled up on my computer here if we want to look at that, if you have questions.
Well, I guess would it be accurate to say that during the years of 23 and 24 that all reported production was derived from what Oxy reported to the division?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and how was that data, or excuse me, how was that production determined in as monthly well tests, something along those lines is what I'm trying to ask you.
Yeah, it would have been based off our standard operating, which is well test data.
Okay, so then would it be accurate to say that the reason it's in like a monthly format here is because you don't have the day-to-day records? Is that correct?
We should have the day-to-day records in starting in after the acquisition.
I guess let me ask a better question, Mr. Janacek. Sorry to cut you off, but just in the interest of time, I guess maybe a better question is, any day-to-day, any production records you have is based upon monthly well tests. Is that accurate to say?
Yes.
Is it also accurate to say that a closed loop gas capture event may only last a couple days rather than something on a monthly scale?
That's correct.
So I guess if there was to be a spike in your like GOR or just gas production period that lasts only a few days during the injection, would you be able to make that determination here?
Based off of this plot, no. But based off of the reports that we filed in 2024 with all of the CLGC event data before, during, and after CLGC events, and looking at the offset well data, and that data, as you know, is a lot higher frequency than what's shown on the screen. We didn't see any impacts on offset well production.
Even that data that isn't included in this case, but is included in a prior report, even that is determined using a monthly well test, and then your overall production for whatever train or facility. Is that correct?
It's depending upon the well, we'll have 1 to higher frequency well tests, depending upon what's going on operationally. So there might be more than one monthly well test.
Okay, extremely quickly, I'm looking at your next page. What was it that Oxy is wanting the division to take from this table?
This table is the same data as the first one. We just have 2 y-axes so you can zoom in and look at the data. What we're looking for here is any correlation between the injection and production. And as you can see, there's a period of shut-in time in 2020 and 2021. So that's why there's a lack of production. But when you look at the red data, none of the production in red tracks with the injection in black. So overall, at a high level, we don't see any correlation between injection and production.
During this period in time, was there ever any GOR calculations made for that well? And that well being the Mule Deer 36 state number 4?
No, but there's actually no oil production during this time, so there's no GOR to analyze.
Mr. Janacek, is the facility at which the 11H's production would be going to, is it adequate enough that Oxy would be able to give that well its own separator for measurement following closed loop gas capture events?
Possibly. That's something I can look into and provide.
Mr. Janacek, do you know when the last status update was submitted for this pilot project?
Probably 6 months ago, roughly.
Do you know what the requirement is under the order for status updates?
I think it might be quarterly.
Is it Oxy's intent to provide quarterly reports for this project?
Yes, that would be something that we missed at the last quarterly update.
And Mr. Janacek, this may be a question for Ms. Vance, but if you happen to know, do you know, I don't know if you provided the notice information, Ms. Vance, or not. My question is, do you know which interest owners were provided notice? And what I
That would
mean by
be
that is like classification, like is it like the like SWD requirements, talking about like around the injection wells? Is it like all the interest owners? That sort of response is what I'm looking for, I guess.
I would have to defer to Miss Vance. I can't recall the notice at this moment.
Oh, that's perfectly fine, Mr. Janacek.
I want to say, yeah, I would have to look at it and see if it's similar to the previous notice that we sent out. It would be similar to SWDs, and then I think we also did additional coverage to everybody who had an interest in all the wells that were in that commingled gas system. So it was additionally sent out to all those parties as well.
Yeah, and I know some of Oxy's cases are that, I mean, it seemed like it's a little bit back and forth. It seemed like a lot of Oxy's and was everybody in the commingling gas gathering system. And then I think there might have been one or two that wasn't, and I wasn't sure what went on here, Mr. Janacek. But regardless, I'll just touch base with Miss Vance here in a bit in regards to that, see if she knows. Thank you, Mr. Janacek. Mr. Roundtree. Not sure if I
Yes.
put the page. Oh, I did put the page in there. It looks like I'm looking at like page 45 of 95 is the first one I'm looking at. Where this, it looks like this is a statement that was included in maybe the original application in regards to a review of the hydraulic conditions, I guess. You see what I'm referring to, Mr. Roundtree?
Yes, I do see that. Yes.
Have you conducted a review to confirm that nothing changed from March 1st of 2023 to today?
I haven't done a review of this specific, looking to see if there's any hydraulic connection to any underground source of drinking water since 2023, but I'm not aware of anything that has changed since then.
I guess we don't have our. And you're not familiar with the reservoir engineers, Mr. Joshi's review, are you, Mr. Roundtree?
No, I'm not familiar with his review.
Mr. McClure, we can see if Mr. Joshi is available to join us if you have some questions for him.
Well, I mean, is Mr. Joshi there, or because I think he was in the pre-hearing.
Yeah, I'm
statement,
available.
I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm available.
Oh, Mr. Joshi is there. Mr. Hearing Examiner. Oh, I don't have any further questions for Mr. Roundtree. Mr. Hearing Examiner, if we could, if I could ask some questions of Mr. Joshi or Joshi.
Are you finished with the other two witnesses?
Mr. Hearing Examiner, yes, I believe that I am, unless something additional comes up, I guess.
Okay. Okay, let's get Mr. Joshi on the camera. We're looking for you, sir. Are you going to turn your camera on?
Yeah, I'm turned on. Can you see me?
I don't see him.
My
can't
camera
see.
is on. Am I missing something?
Can you stop
here?
sharing your screen? Maybe that'll help.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
I see you, sir. Would you raise
Yeah.
your right hand, Mr. Joshi? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do swear.
Thank you. Would you spell your name, please?
First name is Rahul, Rahul. Second name is Joshi, Joshi.
Thank you. And have you been previously admitted as an expert before this division?
Yes, I have been.
Very good. In what field?
Reservoir engineering.
Very good. Mr. McClure, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Mr. Joshi, I'm looking at your affirmative statement signature on page 45 of 95. This is in regards to reviewing geological and engineering data and evidence of open faults or other hydrologic connections between the disposal zone and underground sources of drinking water.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you conducted a review to confirm that nothing has changed since this February 17th of 2023?
No, we have not conducted any review after that, after making that statement, but we do not have any additional information from any source that we believe would lead to any change of conditions.
And in addition to that, I'm looking at page 59 of 95. This is your other affirmative statement. Have you conducted a review to determine if anything here has changed since February 17th of 2023?
No, we have not done any review.
Okay. Mr. Hearing Examiner, I'm
Yes.
done asking questions of the expert witnesses,
Okay.
but I would ask Ms. Vance a question in regards to the notice.
Okay. And then are you going to have requests for Ms. Vance?
No, I'm thinking not at this point.
Oh, good. Okay. Go right ahead, Mr. McClure.
Ms. Vance, do you know if the notice was conducted to all the interest owners in the gas gathering system, or was it more along the lines of like Part 26 and SWD notice?
It was, the notice was completed according to the closed loop gas capture guidance. So what is in there is the notice that we provided.
Okay, so then the additional notice that Oxy sometimes provides, you don't believe
That-
it was provided in this instance?
I'm sorry, state that again?
Oxy, in some of its cases, had been going above and beyond what the guidance is and providing interest or providing notice to all the interest owners in the gas gathering system. My question is, do you know if that was done in this case, or do you think it was done based upon the guidance?
It was done based upon the guidance. I confirmed that with Mr. Rankin. I do want to just quickly put a pin in. I've got two follow-up questions for Mr. Janacek, if I may.
Follow-up questions. These are questions that Mr. McClure asked Mr. Janacek?
Yes.
And you feel like the answer needs to be revised in some way?
Not revised, but they were questions asked about the exhibits. And so I'd just like to follow up with questions that may help with some clarification or just get additional color on the answers provided.
If they're brief. If they're brief, Ms. Vance.
So Mr. Janacek, we're talking about I just wanted to clarify the mule deer that was approved for monitoring, but that has been plugged. If that single point could serve as a monitoring well, obviously it was previously approved as such, can the horizontal well that Oxy is proposing to use for monitoring as the pressure sink, can that, with all its spans of the length of the lateral, serve as a monitoring well equal to that mule deer, that vertical well?
That's correct. It would be equally or probably a better candidate for observation than the mule deer.
Okay. Great. And then the second question I had, 1 second here, was Mr. McClure asked you a series of questions related to the observation exhibits that you provided, and was discussing production reports on a monthly versus getting production on a day-to-day basis. Do you believe that there would be any, is there any difference there that would be appreciable to suggest that the observation Oxy provided wouldn't be accurate in showing an asynchronous observation that injection does not increase production to the offsets or cause any impact to the offsetting wells?
I think we might see something similar. If we're looking at impact on injection at this lower pressure and this lower rate, that would probably be something on a larger time span, which looking at monthly data might be more accurate or show the same thing as what would well test data at a higher frequency.
Okay, those are my two questions.
So, Mr. McClure, can we take this case under advisement?
Mr. Examiner, we can take the case under advisement.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ms. Vance. Thank you, Mr. Janacek, Roundtree, and Rahul. We're off the record.
Real quick here, Mr. Examiner. Excuse me, I apologize about that. Excuse me. Before adjournment, I did notice that the case number 26365 was supposed to be on the docket, not currently there. And
who is speaking?
I apologize, sir. My name is Brandon White Whitley.
Okay, what case are you addressing?
Yes, sir. It's 26365. I didn't hear it called today, although it was supposed to be on the docket because I have stuff from Holland and Hart stating it was going to be on August 6th. It's at 8:37 on the call since 8:30.
Did you say case number 26235?
No, sir. 26365.
Ms. Vance, do you know what case he's talking about?
It's the enduring one. Mr. Hearing Examiner, it's the enduring federal exploratory.
Is that on our docket today, Mr. McClure?
It's continued.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same one that somebody earlier was asking about it too. I thought it was this one. Maybe I'm wrong on that though.
That's correct.
Yes, it's on the August 20th docket. I believe I received an email from Mr. Whitley, and I responded to him this morning.
Oh, this morning, okay.
I will follow up with another email after our hearing.
Sir, that case is on the August 20th docket, but Ms. Chance will communicate with you, okay?
Copy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you. We're off the record.